Pastor Brian from Summit Church here. Several times a year, we have a membership class, and the next one is coming up on August 13th. Now, some of you watching this are already members, others have not yet made that commitment. Regardless of which group you're in, I think it's important to understand why we have membership at Summit Church. And that's the topic for this week's edition of Wednesday's Words with Pastor Brian. There are several reasons why we have membership at Summit Church. Now, the overly simplistic answer is that our Constitution has several decisions that require a vote of the congregation. Membership is how you define who can vote at a congregational meeting. But like I said, I think that kind of reduces membership to the least common denominator because membership in a local church means a lot more than just the administrative function of voting on certain decisions. At its core, membership is about making a commitment. Lots of people attend church, but membership is a further commitment that says, this is my church. It's where I seek to help God's kingdom grow. And toward that end, it's where I serve. It's where I give financially to see that happen. It's where I form meaningful relationships with other Christians as we grow toward maturity together. These are my pastors who feed me and guide me spiritually. They're the ones I rely on in a crisis or a time of need. These are the elders who keep watch over my soul. You know, all of those things I just mentioned are important functions that we see in the Bible. And membership in a local church ensures that these things happen in our lives. In the New Testament, when the Apostle Paul went on his missionary journeys, he established a number of churches in different cities. The new believers in these cities were members of those churches. Membership in that church really meant something, so much so that they could even be put out of the church. And unlike today, they couldn't just walk down the street to another fellowship. So being a member of that local church really did mean something back then. Membership is a vehicle to help us achieve that same dynamic today. It's kind of like the difference between dating and getting married. You can be in a solid relationship with someone where you're in love and so forth, and that's a good thing, but marriage takes that relationship to a deeper level. And in this way, church membership is kind of countercultural, the way Christianity should be. We live in a culture that frowns on commitment. You know, our city has lots of good churches, and while that's a great thing, it can also lead to some reluctance to commit to any one church. We want to keep our options open. But I believe committing to one local fellowship is what we see in the New Testament. And when we do, I believe we're valuing something that God values. The church was God's idea, after all, not ours. He created this thing, and He created it for our good. So when we value the church and commit to it, we're aligning ourselves with God's values and God's plan. And like marriage, membership makes it harder to leave. And I think that's a good thing, too. We're a family, and it should be really hard to leave the family because the relationships are different. If you want to join Summit Church, the membership class will take place after the 11 o'clock service on August 13th. We go over our vision and values. We talk about our beliefs and our structure. We go over the expectations that we have on members and what members can expect from us. It's about 2 hours. And it includes lunch. Please RSVP so I can plan for food. And you can RSVP on the communication card or by emailing me or the church office. Now, there's a book you need to read before class. I've got a copy of it here. It's called I Am a Church Member by Thom Rainer. As you can see, it's really short. You can read it in one sitting, or you can take it slower if you want. You can pick up a copy of this book on Sundays here at church the next couple of weeks or in the office during the week. You know, I think every Christian needs a church. And I know that Summit isn't the church for everyone. But if this is where God wants you, then committing through membership is part of that plan.